came out, of course, I still went to it. Yeah.
Week 3 has just ended with the eviction of Ilebaye and Khalid as they say goodbye to the Big Brother Naija Level Up show.
Hi, it's Ilebaye. I've just been evicted from the Big Brother house. I want to thank all my fans for all your support and love and everything. I really do appreciate and I love you guys.
Hi, my name is Khalid. Just got evicted from the Big Brother house. I want to thank my fans, I want to thank my family, everyone who voted for me, everyone who supported me up until this point. It was a good one. I love you all. Thank you.
So this week has been full of ups and downs, challenges, friendships, frenemies, enemies, relationships, and heartbreak. And of course, we'll just give you a quick rundown of what happened in the Big Brother Naija Level Up house for week 3. Starting off with the Eviction Diary session Biggie had with the evicted housemates for week 3, which is Bryann, Khalid, Groovy, Fina, and Ilebaye. Of course, we all know by now that Ilebaye and Khalid are no longer in the game, so they are out of the show. And let's see what happens. Let's see what's gonna happen, afterwards. So moving on to Groovy's Eviction Diary session with Biggie. He did mention that he's anxious of the Eviction Show, and this is that his time in the house has been an amazing one from the first day he came into the house. He said his friendship with Sheggz would continue because he feels that Sheggz always looks out for him and his interests. He also called Daniela his bestie, and he also did mention that Fina is cool and they've been cozy lately. Of course, we're seeing that Groovy and Fina have been very close lately. Not just close, but they've shared, several times they've kissed in the house. They've showing a lot of PDA and they've getting really closer in the house. He did also mention that Bryann is also. He did mention that himself and Bryann share like a musical background, so you would see that he will reconnect more with Bryann outside the house. Moving on to Ilebaye. Ilebaye did mention that she had fun in Biggie's house and that it was expected as what she wanted it to be. On friendships that she has made, she mentioned Beauty, Chumsy, and Khalid, and she told Biggie that it was more of an experience for her in his house. So moving on to Khalid mentioned to Biggie that he had a great time in his house, and he also of course talked about the relationships formed in the house. Of course, we all know that Khalid and Daniela have been very close, not just close, but they have like an intimate relationship in the house. And seeing that both of them have just talked to each other, they are not really moving from one person to another. They've been confessing their feelings to themselves and also expressing how they feel towards each other. So moving on to Fina, during her Eviction Diary session with Biggie, Fina did mention that the only friendship she had in the house is Amaka, and of course you know that Amaka and Fina, their friendship is actually shaky based on the fact that Groovy is actually in the mix. Amaka likes Groovy, Fina likes Groovy, Groovy was with Beauty, Groovy likes Chumsy. So it's actually not just a rectangle, this is more than a rectangle. So Fina and Amaka's relationship have been affected in the mix, and right now we don't know what's going to happen in the coming weeks. So let's just move straight to the Eviction Show, of course, which was the reason why we saw Ilebaye and Khalid leave the show. So looking at the fact that level 2 housemates have been up on the chopping block week in, week out, we expect that this week they come with the fire and energy they promised us from the beginning of the show. Because the number of housemates reducing in level 2 house, it's not getting funny anymore. And of course, you can all tell that the many housemates are losing their vibe, they're losing their energy, they don't know what's going to happen to them when it comes to the HOH games. And if you look at the level 1 housemates, they're actually taking out the strongest contenders in level 2 house. We saw Sight leave the show, just last week, week 2, and now we've just witnessed Ilebaye and Khalid leave the show. And if you guys remember, Khalid and Sight are usually the top contenders during the HOH games in the house. I really do not know what to say, because until the next HOH game, we don't know who else will be able to contend with level 1 house. If you look at the level 1 houses on the other side, you still have just full. The house is full. They have like the strongest women in the house, from Adekunle to Dotun to MS to Kitty Fire, Sheggz and the rest of them. Like, they still have guys in the house. But look, compare it to level 2 housemates, you just have Kes, Bryann. Who else again is in the house? Kes, Bryann, Cheesy. Kes, Bryann, Cheesy. Yeah, Kes, Bryann, Cheesy. Oh Jesus, are just the guys in the house. Groovy, of course, Groovy. Of course, Groovy. But let's say it goes for the next HOUSEMATES games and see. Hopefully, people are Nigerians saying hopefully. Hey, it's not about hopefully. Let's just see if they bring in the energy to win the HOUSEMATES games. So talking about the eviction show, of course, we saw Ebuka in his elements, and he did welcome everyone during the eviction show. So we saw Crayon and Magic perform on stage, and after that, the first evicted housemate for week 3 was announced, which was Ilebaye. And Ilebaye did mention that people understood her a lot in the house when doing an exit interview with Ebuka on the stage. She mentioned that she does not know what's going to happen outside the house. And when Ebuka asked her a question about Dotun, and her response was that Dotun is Earth, and she thought something might really happen. Of course, we saw that Dotun and Ilebaye had a conversation at week 2 Saturday night party, but just close by the poolside, you had a conversation in the garden area. But let's see how it goes. So Ebuka did ask her, what to expect from Ilebaye outside the show, and she said she's going to focus more on herself. And she loves herself right now. And of course, we all know that Ilebaye had mad fun in the house. And we saw that she had, she and Bryann in the house. They were on and off. People usually refer to them as cat and rat in the house because they will fight today, and the next thing they are back again. So I feel that Bryann and Ilebaye actually, kept their relationship going in the house. But I can't really tell when it comes to both of them seeing outside the house. Of course, Ilebaye and Sheggz, had a great time in the house. Ilebaye had fun times with our level 2 housemates, during her time. So it's so sad to see Ilebaye leave the show, and we hope to see more of her outside the Big Brother Naija in the level of house. So moving on to the 4th evicted housemate, Big Brother Naija in the level of season, we saw Khalid leave the show. I mean, this was very, not unexpected, because most people thought that Khalid in the show was always the level 2 housemates are actually getting ahead of their task and also the HOUSEMATES in the house. But now that Khalid is out of the house, we don't know what's going to happen. Because I don't know if people are putting all their energy, with the really guys in the house. I can't imagine. But anyways, Khalid is one of that in the house. So Khalid, during his exit interview with Ebuka, he did mention that he has a lot of emotions, but number one, he's most grateful for the platform because he was on the show, and he talked about his relationship with Daniela. And like I said earlier, seeing Daniela and Khalid share intimate. They have feelings for each other. Of course, they love each other, they like each other, as they confess to themselves. So he did talk about Daniela, and they said that what happened between both of them was really quick and serious. So let's see how this pans out once Daniela leaves the house. Let's see how it goes outside the house. Now that Khalid is out, we'll definitely ask him more questions about their relationship, more questions about his future plans, more questions about his experience, during the show, and also talk about his artistic, side of him. If you look at the fact that, all the housemates have their own thing, they have their strengths, they have their weaknesses. Khalid brought his creative and artistic side of him to the show, which also helped the level 2 housemates doing some of their tasks. So he did mention to Ebuka at the end of his exit interview that now that he's out of the house, he'll be able to make money and get back to work. So I mean, that was just the end of that was just to summarize the eviction show for week 3, on the Big Brother Naija level up show. And now that Khalid and Ilebaye are out, we definitely get to see more of them, see what they are up to in the future, and of course watch out for their exclusive interview on Sparkle TV. Remember to subscribe and also follow us on all the platforms, on social media. So remember I did mention that week 3 was full of ups and downs, challenges, enemies, frenemies, and friendships, including ships sinking and sailing. It was just a week of fun, of course, and we saw that both levels, they had much fun this week. Biggie engaged them in different tasks. There were lots of gossips this week, guys. A lot of gossips this week on both levels. Level 2 housemates had their own, level 1 housemates had their own. Saturday night party was a clash. In short, let me even talk about the Saturday night party. So the highlight from the Saturday night party for week 3 was between Ilebaye and Chichi. Of course, according to Chichi, when she was, explaining what happened to Bella, Doing, and the rest of the housemates after they got back into the house, she did mention that Ilebaye came on the dance floor where she was dancing with Groovy and pushed her away. Ilebaye pushed her away, and I think Chichi was back dancing with Groovy, and then Ilebaye went to bring Fina. So she felt that was quite insulting, and she felt that Ilebaye wasn't staying her white, that her white is leather white and it cannot be stained. It was fight upon fight. It was all about Groovy in the mix. So she felt that Chichi felt that Groovy had something about it, like he knew something about it. But Groovy had to defend himself to say he didn't know anything that happened. He didn't know the reason why Chichi and Fina behaved that way to her. So this was just a small aspect of what happened at the Saturday night party. We saw the triangle between Gidifire, Rachel, and Diana. Diana taking Gidifire to the restroom, talking to him, saying that she's freeing him, this and that. It was just talks in the restroom. We saw Bella and Sheggz in the restroom when they got back from the party. They also had their own thing. Thank God. It was just a night full of drama, honestly. During the party, after the party, the morning after, it was just drama upon drama. And of course, most of you wanted drama from this show. So now that the housemates are giving it to you, I would like to say kudos to the organizers, because the selection for this year is just top notch. Like, all the housemates are giving it back-to-back content every day, drama, everything. So Chichi, going back to my Chichi didn't find it funny at all with what Ilebaye did. Of course, Ilebaye came to the pool area to apologize to Chichi, but Chichi didn't accept it. She was not finding it funny that Ilebaye had to do such a thing. So she felt that, okay, for Ilebaye to do this, definitely they have something, going on, like they had something in their mind and they already planned for her to behave that way. So at the end of it all, Ilebaye had to cry it out. She cried about what happened, and also how she felt bad that she did that to Chichi. Then we saw Chomzi, trying to calm Ilebaye down, trying to, tell her not to worry about it and all of that. So the drama was just too much in one night. The level 1 housemates having the drama, level 2 housemates having the drama, level 1 and level 2 housemates clashing with another drama. We cannot wait to see what's gonna happen, on week 4. So let's see how it goes, for the remaining week. But anyways, Chichi, the drama between Chichi and Ilebaye, was one of the highlights of the Saturday night party, because Chichi, talked about it over and over again. She didn't find it funny at all. She kept talking about her wife, staying her wife, it's her wife, that's her wife. It was just too much. It was too much energy, honestly. So another drama we saw again during the Saturday night party this week is that this thing actually happened, or something like repeated itself again. This is something between Eloswag and Fina. We saw Fina and Eloswag talking during the party. Maybe Fina trying to steal a kiss from Eloswag, and Eloswag covering her again. Guys, we did the same thing at the week 2 Saturday night party, and we repeated it again week 3 at the Saturday night party. Girl, Fina, leave this guy. If he's not giving it to you, do not, transfer energy back to him. Like, this is just too much. This is too much. Week in, week out, every Saturday night, you want something from this guy, and this guy is actually coming over and over again. We don't want that from you, girl. Please just give yourself something. And I think that now that Biggie wants to give Modella a new task for the week, I think Biggie should actually look into Groovy and Fina's relationship, because I don't understand again. This guy, ladies want you in your house, another lady wants you, another lady in another house wants you, and there's a lady outside, of their house because of you. Just need to give yourself some brain. You guys came in here with the notion that you want to win 100 million naira, and now you guys are hopping from one person to another. I mean, people should need this housemates need to get their head back into the game. This is 100 million naira at stake. So Groovy and Fina, of course, they've been showing a lot of PDA, they've been showing a lot of affection towards themselves. And the Biggie is interested in sending Modella again on another mission. Now that Khalid is out of the house and Beauty is out of the house, Biggie needs to look into Fina and Groovy. So Modella, you have work to be done. So another highlight for week 3 again is that on Friday, a lot of housemates were talking about doing in the level 1 house. So they were talking about how doing is actually, getting into people's businesses, trying to get into people's territories, saying that Doyin wanted to come between Bella and Sheggz. Elo's saying Doyin wanted to come between himself and Diana and Chomsy, and Diana talking about herself and Fire, and I'm like, what's going on, guys? Did you guys wake up to plan against Doyin? But anyways, a lot of them were talking about Doyin in the house, and it was a long discussion in the house. People were just talking about Doyin, going to people's relationships, Diana and Fire, Eloswag and Chomsy, Bella and Sheggz, and not knowing if this is a strategy. But if you guys remember, Doyin, is interested in Deji. Started out of the picture because there's no guy in the game. So Deji is in level 1 house. Doyin likes Deji. Doyin has mentioned this several times. But Deji is not doing it because he said that he's not in for that. He's not in for a relationship and all of that. So I think with that, Doyin has just been trying to do what she can in her own way, because we get to see all of these things on TV. But now that people are now talking about Doyin, and they feel she's not a genuine person, that she likes attention, and she has issues, Diana said Doyin cried for 48 hours in the house. I mean, the gist was just hot on Friday, and it was all about Doyin in the 1 house. So I was just like, hey, God of Doyin, please just save her. Sheggz explained to Doyin about who Deji is in the house and the outside world, because Deji did mention that he's a very reserved person. He doesn't really go out that much. He stays alone. Once he's back from work, he stays in the house. So he's not really a sociable person. Like, he doesn't really go out that much. So Sheggz thinks that Doyin was upset, and he told Doyin not to stress about it. So Sheggz telling Doyin that she's not stressed about trying to get along with Deji or trying to find a relationship with Deji, because he's really upset about it. And Doyin feels that if he had any issue with that, he should have just come to her rather than telling everybody else in the house. So you can see Friday was really hot, guys. Friday was really, really hot. And you see, like I said, he was giving a lot, back to back, day in, day out. It was just a lot of drama. So let me just talk about the Friday task, which is one of the major highlights for week 3, because this is what makes the housemates get their money for shopping on Saturday. So level 2 housemates won their wager, and the theme for the week was fashion, arts, and creativity. Fashion, arts, and crafts. My apologies. Fashion, arts, and crafts. And Biggie told them. Biggie actually organized the fashion show. Where the housemates had to showcase their wares, and they had this. They had all their wares, handmade. With needle and thread. Modella for me was my best dress for the fashion show. Level 1 housemates gave all their energy, creativity, even music inclusive. On the runway, they had their host, which was Sheggz and Doyin. They had the musicians, which was Rachel and Fire, and the rest of the housemates who had to strut the walk they were running. So for level 2 housemates, they did their thing. They were well organized. Everything was well put together for level 2 housemates. And at the end of the day, level 2 housemates won the wager for week 3. So this was like a big deal for them, because they lost the HOH chair for week 3. So at the end of it all, there were talks in level 1 house, housemates saying that, Biggie had to pity them, because they did their best, they did better than level 2 housemates. And I felt that comment was just too wrong. And this is Biggie's house, his rules. Biggie says fashion, creativity, fashion, art, and craft. And then you're giving fashion, like you're giving like a music meets runway kind of fashion show. Then I think they overdid it. you know. So, but for Biggie saying that maybe 2 housemates won, and then 1 housemate are saying that Biggie pitied them, that was just a wrong comment, honestly. But guys, it's to show it's a game, so people will say whatever they want, you know, how they feel. Of course, nobody wants to lose. You know, when they win, of course, we all know how it feels like. When the people lose, we also know how it feels like. So I felt that you're just saying that, you know, based on the fact that they really felt bad that they didn't win. And of course, we also saw Khalid celebrate his birthday, and also Modella, where they had their birthdays this week. So happy birthday to them, and wish them all the best in their new week. Okay guys, so that's the recap for the week 3 on Big Brother Naija season 7 level up updates. Of course, we've come to the end of this video, and I would like to say thank you guys for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and also comment on this channel. Please do not forget to follow us on all our platforms on social media, which is @LorySuperGirl. So until next week, or the next time, next video, please stay tuned, and also remember that when you subscribe, please turn on notifications so that when you see a new video, you'll be the first to watch it. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, it's bye for now.